Hello and welcome to Squeaky Balls Time, Balls.ie's Premier League show in association with Ladbrokes, and a Happy New Year to everybody who's watching. Thanks for all your support in 2016. That was very nice to see a bit of interaction on our videos as well. But it is a Monday, and we're here on a Monday. Gavin Casey joins me and he is sweating it over Liverpool's current situation. They're in added time. They're drawing with Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. We'll have the scores for you in a minute. Actually, John, what will happen now?
I mean, it's a new year, Mikey, but it's kind of same old Liverpool. It's 2-2 at the Stadium of Light between Sunderland and Liverpool. Liverpool took the lead in the game, 1-0 up, and then conceded a penalty. Jermaine Defoe scored. Then Sadio Mane put them 2-1 up into the second half, and 5 minutes later, they conceded a penalty, and Jermaine Defoe scored. It's 2-2 in that game, 92 minutes, 5 minutes added on, so about 3 minutes to go. I mean, this is very important for Liverpool. From a Liverpool point of view, it's very important for them to not drop points in this game. Their next away game in the league is at United, and then they've Chelsea at home at the end of January, so they really cannot afford to drop any points here. Daniel Sturridge has gone off injured. Things are falling apart very quickly for Liverpool. Elsewhere, Manchester City are clinging on. They're 2-1 up at home to Burnley. They're down to 10 men. They've played two-thirds of the game with 10 men. Fernandinho is sent off. That's his third red card in 6 games.
We'll be talking about that a bit more later on.
Then they went 2-0 up. Clichy and Sergio Aguero, who's a half-time substitute. Ben Mee is a goal back for Burnley, so they're clinging on there.
Ben Mee.
Elsewhere, Everton are coasting 3-0 up against Southampton. I'm losing the scores here. And West Brom have beaten Hull City by 3-1. That's a full-time score there. Middlesbrough and Leicester, by the way, finished goalless earlier on today.
So Hull are going down, basically.
Hull are
we
done.
Can draw from this. Hull are done. Liverpool, I'm still scared that there's going to be a last minute winner here. You're absolutely desperate for it. As a Manchester United fan, it's the absolute last thing I want to happen, because United have been on such a good run, winning 5 in a row, but everyone else is winning as well, so it matters nothing. So this would be great if David Moyes could pull through Moyes and get us a result.
Do something very belatedly for the bitter Manchester United fans who can only take pleasure in Liverpool's failings rather than their own team's success. Sure, but it is 2-2. You see, the problem is Jordan Henderson is injured, and he picked up an injury against Man City. Now he got sent off against Man City in 2014 in that the run into the league, and he ended up missing the Chelsea game, and I think that kind of cost Liverpool a lot in that title run in. His absence has really cost them today. Emre Can has been unbelievably sluggish in that, just in front of the defence. But they've missed chances. Daniel Sturridge, by the way, has gone off injured.
That's just ridiculous.
And just before Sadio Mane goes away for the African Cup of Nations, I thought he left a gift to Liverpool by scoring, but he also has given a gift to Sunderland. This ridiculously stupid handball that's making me quite angry here, but I'm going to have to chill out a bit.
And I'm just trying to
it's still not over. I'm trying to just kind of focus on my phone.
Going nuts there. But the other big result in terms of the top 4 title shake-up is Man City getting a hard-fought, what looks like a hard-fought win at home.
Yeah, it's just gone full-time, so it has indeed, yeah.
Damn. Did Jeff Hendrick play in that game? Because
Jeff Hendrick did play along with Stephen Ward.
We'll be doing the Irish roundup later on, but Jeff Hendrick, I noticed he was dropped there a couple of days ago and Burnley won, but it's not really a victory at all. You can't do it with... don't be dropping Jeff Hendrick. What are you doing? Also, Jeff Hendrick got absolutely robbed in BBC's Goal of the Month on Match of the Day. Did we see this last night? He came third behind Alexis Sanchez and Hendrick Mkhitaryan. Right, fair enough, Mkhitaryan with the scorpion.
The offside goal.
That was still a goal because, morally onside. Barney Ronay, the Telegraph. That's what we're describing it as. But Alexis Sanchez dummying Darren Randolph out of his boots and then chipping him was voted better than Jeff Hendrick's goal. This is the world we live in now. If you put an Arsenal player in a poll, nobody stands a chance.
I do pity the few Arsenal fans who are giving out that Olivier Giroud didn't win the December Goal of the Month. After, obviously I've studied it quite a bit, and I think it came down to the fact that Giroud did score that amazing goal against Crystal Palace in January.
It's contentious. Yeah. It's contentious.
It's full time, is it? Oh, fuck.
It's over, yes. Brilliant Pulver's impression by Donny in the production booth. That's over. That's a huge point for Sunderland and David Moyes, and not Man United at all. But Sunderland and David Moyes, that is actually a real big boost for them in the battle against relegation.
I don't want to overreact, obviously, because there's other bigger things on in the world, and really football isn't meant to mean that much, but that is the worst possible thing that could have happened in 2017.
It's a good start.
I mean, 2016 wasn't really that bad a year. I kind of want to go back to 2016.
Fair enough. Enough about Liverpool. We touched on them already. Man City, the big decision in this one is Lee Mason's decided to send Fernandinho off for a challenge. Now, I think this one's justified. Fernandinho's kind of flown in and done a scissors Like, what is it with the scissors? You can't, like, the footballers, amount of footballers that know they can't do stuff and then just do it anyway. I mean, Marcus Rojo is the captain of that team.
Yeah, but Marcus Rojo knows they can get away with it for some inexplicable reason. But it was a red card.
It was a red card. Phil Neville's reaction was particularly
this is what I want to know is what Phil Neville thinks.
Phil Neville was on Twitter and he said, there's no way it's a red card, it's a yellow.
Okay.
And then everybody started going on to him about, like, actually that's a filthy challenge to red. So he upgraded it to an orange. Phil Neville has invented a new card system in the Premier League. It's an orange card there. But Lee Mason, I mean, I was reading the thing, Keith Hackett, former referee, now an expert referee analyst, which, by the way, we need more of. Because if players and managers can't criticise referees, and only former referees, because they know, like, they know the struggle. Like, only former referees are now allowed, and Howard Webb's another one. You're allowed. We need them to criticise referees more often because Lee Mason is so bad.
He's not
he's the worst one of form of his life.
Referee.
Credit where it's due. This guy Keith Hackett, he was reviewing all of the referees so far. He gave Clattenburg 9 out of 10, which is, you know, iffy, but he is the best in the league. He gave Lee Mason a 4 out of 10 and said that he should be relegated. He should be demoted from the Premier League. And I'd agree with him. He's absolutely shitting the bed every week. And then you've got someone like Michael Oliver who is actually not doing that bad. He's doing good this year. He's having a good season, Michael Oliver. But refereing the Premier League is just an absolute disgrace at the minute. Like every week we're on here talking about how someone has gone an absolute ridiculous
well, I do want to stick up there a couple of things. One, Cheyenne Massey, the lineswoman, she was awarded an MBE, presumably for services to broadcasting earlier this week in the New Year's Honours list. But also Mark Clattenburg, he's the best thing about English refereeing, and he could be on his way to China.
That would
and
be
proof that the world has officially gone mad.
Incredible to see if referees transfer are actually a thing. But that's what's been going on in the Premier League today. Since we've been away from you over the Christmas period, there has of course been a lot of action going down in the Northern Irish League. So it's time to throw over to our Northern Irish correspondent, Stanley McAllister, who's at Windsor Park for us. Stanley, how's things?
Thank you, Mikey. Well, outside Windsor Park today, there's only one chant going round. There's only one G Mac in Northern Ireland. They're saying after Big Gareth McCauley. Yes, you heard it. Big Gareth McCauley once more hitting the back of the net for West Bromwich Albion, fast becoming the second favourite club of everyone in Northern Ireland, behind either Linfield or Glentoran usually. He joined in the score sheet. Big Chris Brunt banging them in as usual, but unfortunately bad news also for Michael O'Neill, as Johnny Evans limped off in the first half with what is believed to be an injured tongue. Now, on to domestic issues, and while Christmas may have been over, the Irish Premiership was the gift that kept on giving, with, as always, drama and action aplenty to keep the numerous spectators entertained. Linfield managed to beat Crusaders 2-1 away from home, despite world football legend David Healy getting sent off as Linfield manager. Who knew it? Even the gods must come down to earth sometimes. And transfer news, the first big transfer of the season occurred today, as Owen Bradley completed his move to Coleraine from Glenavon. My cross-border colleagues tell me he was quite handy at the old Irish Gaelic back in the day. And finally, a congratulations to our nation's great leader, Michael O'Neill, who we have now welcomed to the British Empire. Hello, Michael. There's room for you on the couch beside me any day. Back to you, Mikey.
Yes, and can I just say, we all wish Johnny Evans a speedy recovery.
Yeah,
from his
obviously, I mean, there are
since
other people who we would also like to see have an injured tongue, but that would, that might cause ructions in the office. We might not get into that.
So, you've heard what's going on in Northern Ireland. What about the boys in green, the more celebrated boys in green in Dublin, where we are? How have the Irish players been getting on?
Not a whole lot today. Seamus Coleman played for Everton, didn't score. Jeff Hendrick and Stephen Ward both played for Burnley at City, didn't score. Sunderland had John O'Shea at centre back, and I guess only conceding 2 goals against Liverpool. That's not a bad afternoon for John O'Shea.
To watch John O'Shea. But go on.
The problem is really in the Everton Southampton game. I mentioned that Seamus Coleman played and didn't score. Shane Long didn't score, and this is becoming a bit of an issue now because Shane Long, while he got his first Premier League goal of the season against West Brom, actually a couple of days ago. I mean, he's not really been in the team. He's only made, I think, 4, maybe 5 starts. And Claude Puel wants him to be a bit more like Jay Rodriguez.
What? It's the other way around. Jay Rodriguez has played very little football over the last few years, and he doesn't do anything apart from score like really nice goals every now and again.
But I mean,
he doesn't put the work in.
The papers are linking him with a sensational switch back to West Brom. Would that be a good move? Does he need to?
Well, that brings us a transition nicely into our discussion on the transfer window, and managers are going to be trying to splash the cash. I've always wanted to make it rain. I just wanted to do this. But apparently Shane Long, yesterday he was linked with a move to West Ham. And I'd be very much against Shane Long going to West Ham, because I think West Ham have this idea that they're, you know, especially with the new stadium, that they're this massive club and they should be challenging for Europe. So I think if they bring in someone, while they need Shane Long now, they're going to be like, yeah, but we need an actual goal scorer. You know what I mean? Like a 20 goal a season guy. Yeah. Shane Long's not going to do that for you. Shane Long's going to be a great striker for whoever does sign him, but he's not going to be the main.
But is that you saying that Shane Long maybe isn't good enough to play at that high a level?
Not that, but he's not enough to be the number one striker at that level and get 20 goals a season when he needs to. If you play him off a 20 goal a season striker, you're absolutely.
He feels like a lower level Giroud.
Well, you're talking. The other thing, and then we've seen today, is that Shane Long's been linked to West Brom, to a return to West Brom. That would be good, because West Brom aren't going anywhere. They're not going to get relegated anytime soon.
West Brom are sensational.
They're just going to be right there. They're going to be right there, and like the idea of a Salomon Rondon Shane Long partnership is just, I mean, that's just the stuff of dreams. Yeah. But really, the most interesting deal, the most interesting player from an Irish point of view in this transfer window is going to be Robbie Brady. Yeah. Because what the hell does he do? He's got to get in Norwich, because Norwich aren't going up, and
they won't be in the Premier League next season.
The Norwich fans don't like him anymore as well. He's because he's kind of, he knows he's better than Championship, and he was like, yeah, okay, that's grand, I'll go back up with them. But now that they're not going up, he's kind of like,
yeah, and
so I don't like him.
So I mean, the clubs realistically he'll end up at might be Hull, might be Sunderland, or Crystal Palace have been mentioned. Now Palace, you know, wouldn't be a bad move. They'll probably stay up.
Palace would be a good move if those are the clubs that are in for him. Like if he goes to like a Sunderland or to a Hull City or Swansea and he goes straight back into a relegation playoff, it's like, why, Robbie? Why are you doing that to yourself? Because he left Hull, joined Norwich, got relegated. You know, it's just a never-ending relegation battle for Robbie Brady. He needs a bit of stability. But he's going to go to, so say he goes to Crystal Palace, you've got to feel Palace are going to stay up with Allardyce, especially if they can get Robbie Brady's deliveries onto Christian Benteke's head.
Yeah.
So I
think that would be quite a good move.
They're talking about Crystal Palace want to pay 7 million and Norwich want 12 million for Brady. Meet somewhere in the middle, lads. 10 million sounds like a reasonable deal.
We have a couple of comments, by the way, on the Irish. Thanks for getting in touch, guys. Shane Flynn says, I think Robbie Brady should head to Palace. Even Jamie Carragher said it last night. And Richard Merrigan says Brady, Hourahan and Forrester, I think, will move this window. Now, Conor Hourahan scored again for Barnsley. That game was 1-0. I haven't checked the full-time score. I'll get back to that in a minute. But he pinged one in for Barnsley against, who they're playing, is it Cardiff? Forest, Nottingham Forest, thank you very much. So obviously, and he's been sensational. I mean, he's had more assists than anyone else in the Premier League. And Craig Forrester, I think he might be on the move as well. I know he's linked with Derby County today. And Derby getting into the playoffs isn't a million miles from reality either. And so, I mean, realistically, you could be seeing Forrester, you know, possibly in with a shout of Premier League football next season, which would be great. Barnsley did win that game by the 1-0. That's a huge win for them.
Conor Hourahan has been absolutely amazing. Like it's whether Premier League clubs are going to be interested in him, because he's proven that he can just do whatever he wants with the Championship. He's getting assists coming out of his neck.
Yeah, and I honestly don't think there's an Irish player more influential in a single team. Now, Scott Hogan maybe, but we don't think he's going to end up declaring for Ireland.
Hogan and Jutkovic, the two question mark both scored today.
Lukas Jutkovic is partly Polish. I think that's Polish parentage in his surname. Yeah. But more importantly is the Irish grandmother that he has, and the fact that he hasn't been capped for England or Poland. And I think Martin O'Neill has been watching him. He scored for Birmingham, as did Scott Hogan, and Hogan actually missed a penalty in that game as well. So, you know, I mean, Ireland need goals, really. Daryl Murphy was on the bench for Newcastle today as well. But I think Hourahan, I'm just so impressed by him. Won a cup at Wembley last season.
Definitely would love to see a Premier League team take a punt on him, but at the same time you want him to keep playing when he's in this type of form. So if he stays to Barnsley to the end of the season and then continues his form for the end of the season and then gets the big move, I think that'd be the best for all.
Shane Toolan in the comments, by the way, reckons Shane Long should go to Norwich.
Oh, that's no way.
Nah, Shane, mate.
No way.
Try again.
Unless who else? Unless Wes Houlihan stays, Robbie Brady stays, Shane Long arrives, they sign John Walters from Stoke, they get Jeff Hendrick on loan from Burnley because he has a fight with Sean Dyche, and like the entire Irish squad just plays in Irish and win the Championship and come into the Premier League.
Put
then
the fastest hands in Bray, Darren Randolph, put him in nets.
Except West Ham can't afford to lose him. Adrian's out of contract this summer. It'll be interesting to see whether they go with Darren Randolph full time as their number one, or they try and sign one of those. We're West Ham, we're massive club signings. And then
can I cut across you there, Mikey?
Go for it.
I'm very excited to do a very exciting Jim White style thing and say we've breaking news. Paul Clement has agreed a 2.5-year deal to manage Swansea.
It's an interesting appointment. I think that's I don't expect him to keep Swansea up.
No.
But he's the type of managerial appointment where it's like he's got something there. So they're going to go down and have a manager who has his head switched.
That's what I would...
They think very highly of him at Bayern Munich.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But then that's offset by the fact that Swansea are run by a bunch of nutcases who seem totally inept. So it's hard to imagine that they're planning.
So
they
get their good manager to win the Championship next year, and then they lose their opening game and sack him. You've heard it here first on Squeaky Balls Time. That is an exclusive. So Man United versus West Ham is the evening kickoff. It's at 5:15. We run through the team.
Now Mikey has a theory that he can predict the result based exclusively off the Manchester United lineup.
The outcome. I'm not doing scores.
So here it is. David De Gea's in nets, surprisingly enough. Antonio Valencia, Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo and Matteo Darmian. Carrick, Herrera, Pogba's the midfield three. Front three of Henrik Mkhitaryan, Jesse Lingard and Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Well, they have the axis of good football in Carrick, Herrera and Pogba. So that's reassuring in one thing. The question mark here is Lingard on the left wing. I'm a fan of Lingard, but when he starts games, particularly away from home, although he did provide that assist for Ibrahimovic away to West Brom. It's an interesting one. I think United have enough to get the win, mainly because they're in great form and West Ham are kind of shite at the moment. So a draw is very, very possible, but other than that, I think it's going to be one goal in it. I think a 2-1 win.
Okay, this is away now. This is at the... Chris, United were famously the last team to play it up to play
at the bowling ground.
At the bowling
what a grand occasion it was.
Can we go back to the comments? Because Murish Mossy O'Connor, sorry mate, I can't pronounce that at all. I'm a West Brit. He has excuses for Liverpool, and I kind of want to indulge this. Liverpool looked well flat. 2 games in 40 hours is a joke. Don't want to blame the fixtures, but it needs to change. Let's hope the Spuds do us a favour on Wednesday. # come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spuds.
Spuds.
He's absolutely right. 2 games in 2 days is piss take, especially when you look at Chelsea, who have no other European football or anything to worry about, and they've got 3 and 10.
3 and 10 games.
The fixtures are weird, but they're not biased. Like you deal the hand you're dealt. Play
the hand you're dealt.
Play the hand you're dealt.
Big Sam Allardyce yesterday wanted in his post-match interview after the Arsenal game, because he is the same thing. He has 2 games in 48 hours, and his game is a big game against Paul Clement Swansea.
They're already
Paul Clement Swansea.
Whoa, that was quick.
We got there before Sky Sports News, I think.
I'd say Gylfi Sigurdsson's.
And he was saying that I don't know the man who compiles the fixture, but he needs to be sacked. He literally calls
that guy.
Because the highlight of Christmas football, by the way, I know you didn't actually see it, was Big Sam Allardyce challenging Harry the Hornet.
No, I missed this.
Harry the Hornet dived in front of Wilfred Zaha, mocking Zaha for an earlier dive. And Big Sam sat back at his press conference and goes, I was well out of order that.
Should have been sacked.
And he actually said the FA should investigate it. Now, if anyone knows anything about an FA investigation...
But I just love the way Big Sam thinks that this guy who does the fixtures is just sitting in a room going, Palace, let's have a bit of fun with Palace, let's take a piss out of him there. And it's not like someone do it, like I have this Minority Report image of a guy like, okay, Burnley were away to Man City, now we've got to do this. He probably shouldn't be sacked. He's probably doing a very good job.
Yeah, I think that's a bit harsh.
It gets tight.
I think Sam has kind of internalised a little bit of the England thing. I'm looking forward to what he says after the Swansea game.
Premier League, the players and the clubs and the managers need a Christmas break. But the rest of us, without Premier League football at Christmas, what is there? There's nothing.
Oh, there's nothing, no.
There's absolutely
good Lord,
well, there's darts, and the darts are unbelievable. I can't wait for the darts tonight. But, my God, if you take Premier League football away from Christmas, I don't know.
It'd be appalling. Even like Palace Watford was the first game on St Stephen's Day, or Boxing Day, St Stephen's Day.
St Stephen's Day.
And as bad and as appalling as it was, you had a full day of family already done there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Before we go, I'd go one more time. Will we get those full-time scores?
Oh, from the Premier League? Yeah, if we bloody well have to. Just before I do want to, a guy by the name of Liam Kelly, and 21-year-old Irish guy scored for Reading today, so he's a name to watch. And Ryan Manning, guy from Galway, made his QPR debut on New Year's Eve. Started again today. Ian Holloway said it was one of the best debut he's seen in his time in football.
Ryan Manning is one of these names that always pops up in those lists you see in balls.ie, like young people to watch in the championship and thing. I've definitely seen the name. Can't remember which listicle exactly, but I've definitely seen him in more than one listicle.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out.
Right, let's run through these bloody full-time scores in the Premier League. Middlesbrough 0, Leicester City 0.
What a poor game.
Everton 3, Southampton 0. Manchester City 2, Burnley 1. Sunderland 2, Liverpool 2. West Brom 3, Hull City 1.
There you go. Great day if you're an Everton fan. Oh my God, that comfortable 3-0
What a
win.
day for the Everton fans.
Great day
I'm
if you're an
thrilled
Everton
for
fan.
you.
And we get stick for being anti-Everton here because we want to see Seamus Coleman play in the Champions League. But we're not. Well done, Everton. You're the bestest. Man United now absolutely need to capitalise on this Liverpool slip-up. Although catching Liverpool is not, like, top 4 is a priority. People are saying, like, title challenge, top 4 is a priority. Man United absolutely need to get a win. And we're going to go watch that, I think. I think that's all we've got time for on Squeaky Balls Time this week. So thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back next Saturday.
We're back on Saturday,
at a regular time doing the Saturday 3 p.m. kickoffs. A huge thank you to Ladbrokes, of course,
Cheers,
for
lads.
sponsoring the show. You see it all down here. They provided mugs and cups and hats as well. What a great bunch of lads. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you for the next one from Mikey and Gavin, balls.ie and Ladbrokes. See you at the next one. Is that what I said already? Did I say that already? Goodbye.